Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit. I'm so glad that you could be joining me this evening, or for those of you too who are watching the recording later. Namaste and welcome. So tonight will be the second installment of our 12 Kalis of the Krama lineage series. We'll be honoring Ma Rakta Kali. I'd like to start with a couple of announcements. So Tuesday of next week, 7 o'clock, will be maybe part 2 of our series on the goddesses of the Trika lineage. We'll be honoring the goddess Para. And then a week from today, 7 o'clock on Friday, will be our monthly Yoga Nidra meditation. So some interesting things coming up in this coming week. So let's begin with the goddess Rakta Kali. So the 12 Kalis were honored in what is now the state of Kashmir from the late 800s to about 1500 CE. Though an extinct lineage, the Krama path of Tantra still holds influence in tantric paths which are practiced today. So, for example, the upward progression of Kundalini, moving upwards through Sushumna Nadi, piercing the chakras during the course of meditation. It was also during the Krama that we begin to see female gurus as well. Like other collections of tantric goddesses, such as the 10 Mahavidyas, the 12 Kalis represent steps in a path of spiritual evolution. So last time we discussed the role of Kali as creator in the goddess Sristi Kali, and I have a Kali image from Nepal, and one of the reasons I like these images so much is they really show Kali as a form of the Divine Mother in all of her aspects. So on the creative aspect, we see her squatting in a birthing position. So in the second verse of the Krama Stotram, our scripture, short scripture, the creation that we saw in Sristi Kali has congealed into the material universe, which is now perceivable by the five senses. And this great creatrix of the first verse of the Krama Stotram is now the sustainer, the preserver in the second verse. So tonight we honor Ma Rakta Kali, whose name translates to mean red Kali or blood Kali. And this is a form still actively worshipped today in Nepal. So I want to say something about her name, the idea of her being blood Kali. We tend to think of Kali being smeared with the blood of demons that she's slain, really focusing on her role as destroyer. But I think we forget the idea of blood being a sustaining substance. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients to the cells and the tissues. It carries wastes away to be excreted. Blood also contains white blood cells and antibodies for fighting infection. And blood platelets play a role in the first stage of healing. So we tend to think of preservation goddesses like Lakshmi, but we tend not to think of Kali in that role, but yet it's still very strong. So the Rakta Kali, whose temple is in Kathmandu, is identical to this form of Kali, Bhadra Kali. And She is a form of Bhadrakali. And Bhadrakali, there's legends of her turning loaves of rice bread into gold, and also stopping a war. So I'm going to go over symbolism a little bit later. But Rakta Kali, as I said before, is the perceivable world of the five senses. Hence, the gaining of knowledge through the senses. Really, the power of Jnana Shakti, the divine power of knowledge. Being a science teacher at the start of every school year, I talk about the scientific method. And the first step in that method is observation. And the definition that I would give my students for observation is any information that is gained through the five senses. And science itself, the definition that I taught was science is knowledge based on experience. And I think Rakta Kali really personifies this. So some of her functions include strengthening the family and also strengthening relationships on all levels. So familial, love relationships, friendships, professional relationships. She can be called upon to provide courage, peace, and prosperity, removing obstacles and all issues surrounding the home. The mantra that we'll be using this evening is Om Hrim Klim Saum Svaha. Om, the universal mantra of creative expansion, of universal consciousness. Hrim is the seed mantra of the Divine Mother in all of her aspects. Klim is a Kali Bij mantra or seed mantra that's also used by gods like Krishna and Kama. So it also demonstrates the more seductive power of the divine feminine, calling us into her direction. And Saum is a variant of the seed mantra Sao, which represents manifestation. And then Svaha roughly translates to I am one with the divine. It's a popular fire puja mantra, and we will be doing a little mini fire puja this evening. So as I talk about the symbolism behind Rakta Kali, I'm actually going to bring out a number of instruments. And on this surface here around our little Havan, I'm actually going to construct a Yantra. So like all forms of Kali, she is seen bearing a sword. The sword for slaying our inner demons. The Sanskrit word for her sword is Khadga. And so we're going to make an inverted goddess triangle here. She also bears a trident. And the trident represents, just so many things. The powers of creation, preservation, and destruction, or the divine functions of Icha Shakti, the will, Jnana Shakti, knowledge, Kriya Shakti, action. It also is a model for the energy channels within the human body. Ida on the left, the lunar channel, Pingala on the right, the solar channel. The right channel is the more dynamic energy, the left is more receptive, and then Shushumna Nadi, the central channel, for Ma Kundalini. So there's another side to our triangle. Quite often, these forms of Kali, including Rakta Kali or Bhadrakali are seen holding a small shield or buckler. And when you look at her image, and I'm going to try and bring this up really close, she's holding the small shield, but her palm is forward. And so she's actually displaying the the mudra of fear not. So fear not, she's got that little shield. And Kali's sword is an invincible weapon. You have Kali's sword, you can't lose. So the small shield isn't for protecting her, it's for protecting us, her children. There's some more of that preservation energy that we see in the Divine Mother Kali. So I'm going to add that to one point of our triangle. She's shown holding a small Damaru drum, which represents the progression of time and also the expanding vibrations of the universe, something which in Tantra is referred to as spanda. And I'll add that to another point of our triangle. She holds a flaying blade, or kartika. This is a sky burial blade, and this represents the cutting away of attachments. And then she also holds a kapala, an offering bowl made from the top of a human skull. This represents the transformation of consciousness. And then also the head of a demon, our inner demons, which she is cutting. And when the Divine Mother kills a demon, she's actually liberating and transforming that energy. So this really represents the cutting away of these unhealthy energies, but also transforming them in an act of healing. So fear becomes courage, anxiety becomes peace of mind, depression becomes self-assuredness, just to give a few examples. So for our puja tonight, I invite you to make yourselves comfortable. Find a comfortable seated position where your back can be straight and the breath can be full. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let the out-breath carry away the thoughts of the past and worries of the future. And think of Rakta Kali squatting in a birth position, and below her are two figures, very often on their hands and knees and in opposite directions. And this is another aspect of Ma Rakta Kali. She's not in the past, she's not in the future. She's content to remain in that present moment. So let's follow her example in doing our workings focused on the present. And then focusing on your heart center. Thinking of some small aspect of your life that is ready for healing or transformation. Maybe some obstacle that needs to be taken away. or some aspect of your life that's in need of increased stability and security. And you can also make the intention, the same intention for somebody who's close to you as well. And then I invite you to slowly bring the palms of your hands together. And we'll open our puja by chanting the Divine Mother's seed sound of Hreem 3 times. So inhale deeply. And exhale. Slowly open your eyes. Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvabhistam Gatopiva Yashmare Pandarikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. Om Shuklam Bharadhanam Vishnum Sashivanam Shatobhijam Prasnavananam Dayat Sarva Vigno Pasantaye. Jai Ganesha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Jai Guru. Om Trayambakam Yajamaye Sagandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityu Mukshya Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shivadatri Svasvada Namostute Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jayabhutita Harani Jai Sarvagati Devi Kalaratri Namostute. Jai Ma Kali. And we invoke the goddesses of the Krama, including Ma Rakta Kali, to these scriptural verses. Mahakaliti samjnasa paramparya kramodita sadasad tyakta sabhava paramandana nandini kalim mahakalam alam grasantim Bande Yachintyam Anilanalabam Om. She is called the Great Annihilator, Mahakali, because she continuously perpetuates stages of existence in the endless succession. Yet, her true nature, which is beyond the categories, being and non-being, is the ecstatic delight of unimaginable bliss. Kali, praise be to Kali, who devours up the great cycles of time. She is the inconceivable, indestructible, and inattainable. Jema Rakta Kali. Jema Rakta Kali. Jema Rakta Kali. Lam Vam Ram Yam Ham Om. 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 Jema Rakta Kali. Om Kapuragaram Karanavataram Samsara Saram Bhujaginda Haram Sada Santam Ritayara Vinde Bivam Bivani Saitam Namami Devi Prapanote Hare Prasida Prasida Matara Jagata Kilasya Prasida Vishvesvara Pe Vishvam Tvami Shora Devi Chachara Charasya Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Sva Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Sva Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Sva. So we make offerings to the fire. And I invite you to chant along with our mantra if that feels right. Or you can simply just meditate quietly and allow the energies of the mantra to take your consciousness to where it needs to be at this time. Om Hrim Klim Saum Sva. 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 I invite you now to close your eyes and breathe deeply. And feeling the powers of our mantra. And as you breathe and as you relax, and you feel the calming and preserving and protective energies of our mantra, I invite you now to envision yourself in some place that's in a natural setting. Could be somewhere in the mountains or a forest, in the middle of a desert, on an ocean beach, or even a wintry place with drifted snow, or under a tree where autumn leaves are falling as they are this time of year. But just let yourself be in this place, seated in meditation, and just taking this time to witness. And so first, I invite you to look around at this place. And what first catches your eye about this place? Maybe a particular tree or rock feature, or the sky, or something in the heavens, depending on the time of day. Maybe a cloud, maybe animals. But just begin to notice these things. And then begin to further focus your sense of sight on this place and begin to notice things that you didn't immediately come into your realm of awareness. Maybe small details in a particular object. But just continue exploring this place with your eyes. And now I invite you to focus on the sounds of this natural place. Maybe the sound of birds, maybe a gentle breeze, maybe leaves moving with that breeze, or the sound of a brook, or the sound of the ocean, animal noises. But just take a moment and focus upon the sounds of this place that you're in. And now let's focus on more physical feelings surrounding this place. What does it feel like to sit there and witness your surroundings in this area? What does the ground feel like below you? Maybe you explore around you with your hands, handling leaves or small stones, or pieces of wood or sand or soil. And on a deeper level, are there emotions that come to you while you're in this place? And then begin to notice any odors, anything that comes to your sense of smell. Maybe the smell of pine trees or the smell of flowers or fruit on branches. Maybe the smell of the ocean if you're in such a place, or if it's a wintry place, just that smell of the air just before it begins to snow, or the smell of the air, smells in the air just before it begins to rain. And you can also taste things around you. Taste of the fresh water in the brook, the salty water of the ocean, maybe some kind of fruit that's growing around you, or some type of herb. But now honor this place with your sense of taste. And now, as you look straight ahead, you begin to notice something manifesting before you. It could be an object or some kind of symbol. Some divine being, or maybe just a feeling deep inside. But I invite you to stay in this place for a while, just contemplating what is manifesting before you. Om Hrim Klim Saum. 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 Hrim Sam. Om Hrim Hrim Sam. I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath, thanking that place for what it has shared with you. And very slowly open your eyes and look upon the screen in front of you and the flame that's burning in Aravan. I invite you to meditate upon the flame. And let that flame take from you things that you're ready to let go of. Parts of your life that no longer serve you. Thoughts that you now realize are no longer true. Just anything that is no longer in harmony with you. Just let it go into the flame. And from the light of the flame, I invite you to take in healing, to take in divine guidance, to take in stability and groundedness and peace. Let disharmony be transformed into harmony. Let imbalance be transformed into balance. And let fear and weakness be transformed into strength. Rakta Kali. Rakta Kali. Rakta Kali. I invite you to listen to the words of the sage Abhinavagupta, a bound soul who has any of these convictions. I am dense, I am inert matter, or I am completely bound by my karma, or I am impure, or I am the pawn of others, may seek to attain the steady conviction of the opposite of these views. One succeeds in this, and he or she immediately becomes the master, whose body is the whole universe and whose soul is consciousness. In whatever manner such a conviction may be attained, a tantric yogi should cultivate it at all times. He or she should not allow one's perspective to become divorced from the real nature of things and thus be led into doubt by the mass of foolish teachings in this world. Om Sava Mangala Mangalye Shiva Savada Sadike Saranye Trambake Devi Naryane Namostute. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Sana Bhavatu, Sana Bunaktu, Saviryam Kadavavahai Tejasvinavadita Mastu, Ma Vidvidyavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Tat Sat Om. Jai Ganesha, Jai Guru, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Ma Devi, Jai Ma Kali, Jai Ma Rakta Kali, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di, Jai Mata Di. Namaste. Blessings always. And thank you so very much for joining me this evening. I look forward to you joining me again Tuesday, when we honor yet another goddess of sustenance, the goddess Pada Pada of the Trika lineage. As always, if you have questions, feedback, feel free to message me at my channel, or you can always email me at the temple, omcdevi@gmail.com. That's Om, A-U-M-C, Devi, D-E-V-I, @gmail.com. Have a wonderful night. Thank you. Jai Ma.